Hi everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in tonight. I can't believe it, here we are, and it's our third Inspire conference. And what a treat we have for you tonight. We are going to be hearing from our East Africa team. You're going to be meeting some of our partners on the ground. You're going to be hearing stories of transformational change. But most importantly, you're going to be hearing from the children that we serve, our VIPs, as we like to call them. Tonight is all about what it says on the tin. Tonight is a night to inspire. But if you're new to Fields of Life and you don't know a lot about who we are, we exist to see children and young people educated and skilled, inspired by faith, hope, and love, and going on to transform their communities. We believe that it's the young people of Africa who will change the world. And it's your support that is allowing them the hand up to make that difference. So on that note, here we are going to open in prayer, but rather than me open in prayer, one of those children is going to open in prayer for us.
Let us humble ourselves and we pray. Dear God, I thank you for today. I thank you for my school. I thank you for my teachers. I pray for Fields of Life and all those who support the work they do. I pray for this conference to be successful. In Jesus' name we have prayed. Amen.
Isn't it great to start our night in that way? Now, many of you will know just how difficult life has been for many of the children and young people in East Africa this last year and the last couple of years. Schools were closed for over 2 years. It's hard to get your head around just that length of time. But I've been back in Uganda this year, and it is tangible, the joy that children feel about being back in school again, about having something to eat again, something to drink, about learning again with their friends. And I know many of you who are watching tonight sponsor a child through Fields of Life, and currently we have over 2,500 children who are in our sponsorship program. And our sponsorship program is helping not just the children themselves, but it is a holistic program, helping the entire school and the entire community. Now, we have a real treat for you tonight. We're going to share with you some of the reasons that the children love being at school. So please enjoy this video, watching about the difference that your gifts are making to these children's lives.
I like coming to school to make friends.
I like going to school because I feel safe at school.
I like coming to school to learn how to play football.
I like coming to school to learn reading and writing.
I like the good environment at school.
I like learning arts and crafts.
I like to play with my friends.
I like to study.
I like to play netball.
I like to play football.
I like to play football.
I like to play netball.
I like to play football.
I like to play netball.
When I grow up, I want to be a president.
When I grow up, I want to be a teacher.
When I grow up, I want to be a pilot.
When I grow up, I want to be a doctor.
When I grow up, I want to be a lawyer.
When I grow up, I want to be a nurse.
When I grow up, I want to be a journalist.
When I grow up, I want to be a doctor.
When I grow up, I want to be a doctor.
By going to school, I have learned how to make reusable sand iPads for my sisters.
By going to school, I have learned how to do gardening at home.
By going to school, I learned how to make liquid soap for my family.
By going to school, I learned how to sing and dance for my mother.
By going to school, I have learned how to respect my parents and other people's rights.
By going to school, I have learned how to keep home clean.
The best thing at my school is the library.
The best thing at my school are the clean laundries.
The best thing at my school are the textbooks.
The best thing at my school is clean water.
The best thing at my school is good teachers.
The best thing in my school are the good teachers and the textbooks.
The best thing at my school is clean water.
How great was that? I just love hearing from the children that we serve and seeing the difference that your donations are making to their lives. If you would like to sponsor a child, if you would like to hear more about our education work, please do get in touch. You can go on our website, you can email any of us, or you can phone the office, and all the details will be on the website. Now, I'm going to share with you a video from our team in East Africa who are going to explain a little bit more about the difference that you are making.
Hello everyone, thanks for joining our Inspire Conference 2022. My name is Monica, Head of Programs in East Africa. This time around to say thank you, it's not just the staff doing a dance, it's everyone doing a dance and participating. The staff, the children, the adults, I think even some animals are taking part. Come watch with me.
My name is Moses Magala. I work with Fields of Life as the worship coordinator. I'm standing here with girls of Malengera Primary School. This is their old latrine. And when you transform lives, this is what we mean. I'm going to show you the new latrine. So this is the new latrine from the old latrine that I showed you. And this is what it means to transform lives. Thank you very much for your support.
Hello everyone, Deborah here. Greetings from the Young Girl Project. We thank you very much for all your support towards keeping and enabling adolescent boys and girls to complete their studies. We are also very grateful for all your support, and we pray that the good Lord blesses you.
Hello, my name is George Utaka. I'm WASH coordinator, water, hygiene and sanitation. In particular, I head drilling units, and I'm also the hydrogeologist. It's exciting to see people get safe and clean water. Since 1994, we've drilled over 800 bores, and it is really a blessing to see people excited to see drilling. Glad for the support that we receive. Thank you. God bless you.
So glad today to be part of Annie's journey. She's receiving her first gift from Fields of Life.
Hello everyone, praise the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. I'm Aineviona Ann Hyre. I'm so happy to be sponsored by Fields of Life. I want to thank God for my sponsor. Thank you so very much. May God bless you for me.
Hello everybody, I'm Rachel Kadondi. I work with Fields of Life as a Community Development Officer. I would like to share with you about school gardening and sustainable school feeding. Please watch with me. At Bethel High School, there is a garden of 20 acres of maize.
Jennifer here at the VT High. We want to thank God for 300 lives which have been registered to benefit from this institution. Every morning you find that the teachers and the whole staff and the students are come together to praise and worship. We thank God for the different skills being attained from here.
My name is Bernard Masaba, Outreach Coordinator, Fields of Life. We want to thank you so much for the support you have extended to this organization. Many lives and the communities have been transformed. My role is to speak and minister the word of God. Thank you. God bless.
I work with Fields of Life in Rwanda. I'm here with a friend of mine at Kairos Nursery and Primary School. He's writing a letter to his sponsor. Eji, do you have anything to say?
Yes. Thank you for sponsoring us. I have a bright future. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow! We've seen the communities, the staff, and more especially the children. All very happy and excited to be part of this great life-changing journey. My name is Esther Sempewa, the Executive Director for Fields of Life East Africa. We are into our second year of the new strategic plan, and we are looking forward to changing more lives, building hope, and transforming more communities. And we are going to achieve this through quality education, health and well-being, building resilient livelihoods, and building the family. All this has been made possible because of your support. We are going to deepen our impact while ensuring sustainability and optimal value for every penny. Thank you for being a part of this great journey. God bless you so much.
Now, as you know, the real heroes of Fields of Life are our team in East Africa. And as I have been chatting to them week in and week out, we have been seeing just how difficult life is at the moment. For us here, we have a cost of living crisis. But what I've seen is, although I have to make really difficult choices about whether to heat my home or not, or whether to choose certain ingredients in the supermarket, for many of the families that we serve in East Africa, the choice is much more desperate. Many families are having to think about how many days their children can go without having any food. And it's been really, really difficult to know how to respond in such extreme circumstances, where the cost of everything is rising dramatically, yet people have nothing to be able to provide for themselves or their families. And as we as a team have been talking about that and praying about that, I wanted to share a Bible verse that this whole night and this whole campaign is based on. Now, I know many of you watching will have faith, and I know many will not, but I hope that we all can agree that this is a really important verse that means something to all of us. And actually, the verse is a story. It's a story that Jesus told about a group who get to heaven. And they meet a king, and the king says, "Well done, come and get your inheritance. For I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you invited me in. I was sick or in prison, and you visited me." And the group responded, "But when did we see you hungry and give you something to eat? When did we see you thirsty and give you something to drink? When did we see you a stranger and let you in, or sick or in prison and visit you?" And the king replies, "Whatever you did for the least of these, my brothers and sisters, you did for me." And so this whole night is centered around that theme, because there are so many takeaways from that story, but the takeaway that we got was just how simple it can be to help the least of these, to just give something to eat, to give something to drink. And so tonight, we hope to explore that a little bit further and show you how easy it can be to make a significant difference to one of these child's lives.
For I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you invited me in. Children and families across East Africa are facing a hunger crisis this Christmas. Your support can give hope. Struggling to recover from the pandemic, already vulnerable communities have been devastated by failed harvests and extreme weather. And now, the war in Ukraine has led to a cost of living crisis, leading the most vulnerable to struggle to afford food and basic essentials. This Christmas, let's give hope by standing with a list of these. Together, we can reach and support 2,620 vulnerable children and their families. But we need to act now.
Thank you so much to Esther and to our team in East Africa. We are so grateful to you and so thankful for the hard work that you do to help these children's lives. Now, giving someone who is hungry something to eat maybe sounds so simple, but it really is that simple. A gift of £18 can help a school to feed a family ongoing with sustainable agriculture. And our colleagues in East Africa are constantly challenging us to not just feed tummies today, but to give long-lasting, sustainable change through growing school kitchen gardens, through helping families to have sustainable agriculture in their villages. So any donation that you give will make long-lasting, real difference in feeding families for the future. Now, I'm going to introduce you to Alex, our colleague, who's going to share with you a little bit about his recent trip to Uganda and some of the issues that he saw, which maybe give you a picture for how difficult life is at the moment.
Thank you, Tony. Now, my family and I had the wonderful privilege of spending some time in our East African office in Kampala over this past summer. During that time, we visited many schools, we got to meet our drilling team, we even got to go to our vocational training institute. Sometimes when you're busy and you're traveling around like that, it's hard to process all that you've seen. We met so many wonderful people with smiling faces and open arms. People there like us had been through the global event of our generation, COVID-19, and it had clearly taken its toll. Before people could even catch their breath and process all that had happened, the cost of living crisis was already at their door. And once we got past small talk and general greeting, this was all that was on people's minds and lips. I was shocked at how price increases had happened since my previous trips. Linda, my wife, and I constantly talked about how people were going to cope and make ends meet in the village. Of course, we asked the question, how are people coping here? But we quickly realised they're not. As we visited rural villages, we heard that the prices of staples like rice, beans, maize flour had all significantly increased over the past year. One such story that sums this up perfectly for the crisis on the ground in Uganda is this. While we were at a school, we heard that due to the cost of food increase, the children there had not eaten for a whole 2 days. The principal had been preparing food for the school that day, but now he was choosing which days they would eat and which they wouldn't. Before, they ate every day. There, we met a young boy called Robert, and we've changed his name to protect his identity. And as we chatted to him and asked him questions, we learned that he would be celebrating his 10th birthday very soon. He's a sweet kid with a great smile, and we took a picture with him and our family. After our time at the school and while in the car, I was looking back through some of the photos that we'd taken and opened up this picture of Robert with our family. What was not obvious in the moment was glaringly obvious as I stared at this picture. My boy Joshua is 7 in this picture. Also a sweet kid with a great smile. But as I compared him to Robert, the physical difference between these two kids was so obvious. And honestly, as a dad, I started to cry. I just couldn't imagine my boy Joshua going without food like that. Tears filled up my eyes and rolled down my cheeks. I was really glad that I'd brought my sunglasses that day, as I was really emotional. It seemed so unfair to me, and it honestly really rattled me. With Robert about to celebrate his 10th birthday and Joshua still 7, I learned something that day about the devastating impact that the cost of living crisis is having on young people in East Africa. Things like this are very different for kids like Robert. I now want to hand you back over to my colleague in Uganda, Rhoda. She's going to share just one of the many stories they're hearing of people who are struggling at this time.
A mother of 3 living in Butambula village in Bujiri district has been living with her children for many years. She has been struggling to provide for her family. She has got no stable source of income to pay school fees for her children after the husband abandoned them. When COVID-19 broke out and we got locked down, the standard of living was quite hard. Since everybody was trying to be safe, the government tried to provide a few basic needs like food, soap, cooking oil to the people. But the situation in rural areas was worse because the majority of people in rural areas depend on farming for survival. After the lockdown, one of her children, that is Noreen, currently in P1, who was already being supported by Fields of Life, was able to go back to school to continue with her studies. But still, Noreen's mother has got no stable source of income, not even a piece of land where she can grow food to feed her children. The petty jobs she could have done around her community have also rotated around farming, but the prevailing drought conditions have made this quite hard to do as well. However, not all hope is lost. She has been able to get some work in her community to earn a few pennies to feed her family. She has been able to buy a meal for her family with the little money she earns, at least 1 meal a day, so that they don't starve to death. The price of food is outrageous these days. They feed on chwada. Chwada is cassava flour or cassava posho and silver fish, because that is what they can afford. This family is just one of the many families that are going through the same situation, and this has greatly affected many children in communities. Many children go to school very hungry, and they cannot afford to stay in school all day long. Some other families have taken feeding as a priority for now and not taking children to school. In Uganda, agriculture remains a major source of livelihood, and this has become a focus of attention for Fields of Life, where schools and the communities around have been supported through trainings on modern methods of farming, provision of seeds, and many more, to ensure there is enough food in schools and in their homes, hence promoting sustainable feeding.
Another area of our work that's so important is providing clean water to communities in East Africa. It's hard to believe that in 2022 there are still 1 in 3 people without access to clean drinking water. We know that when a community has access to clean water, this not only reduces water-related illness, but also means that children can spend less time collecting water and more time in school. Clean water is life. I'm now going to introduce you to an inspirational young woman. Hi everyone, lovely to be with you this evening. I'm here with a donor from Fields of Life who happens to be my beautiful daughter Liana. My name is Alex. I've worked with Fields of Life for 7 years now, and I have the privilege of spending most of my evenings and weekends with this beautiful girl. So Liana, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Good, thank you for doing the interview. I know it's always nerve-wracking when you're 12 years of age and you have to talk live, so we'll go easy on you, I promise. All right.
Thank you.
So look, I just wanted to understand a little bit about, I know you've lived in my house, I know you've been around me all the time, and Mom came back from Africa, what, 3 years ago? And she had this pretty cool story of being at a well site. And then she shared that with you, and then what happened?
So yeah, she showed me a couple of pictures, and I said to my mum, well look, I want to do something. And then she was like, well, what do you think I should do? So I took a little while to think about it, and I felt really that I should do a well. So, and I didn't know how to do this, so we just came up with ideas, and then what we decided to do was we decided to do kind of simple things, like I had my birthday coming up and I was turning 9, so what I did was I used the money that I got from my party and stuff, and I gave that towards the fundraiser, and we did a 6k walk. Well, it turned out to be an 8k walk, but it was supposed to be a 6k walk.
You carried jerry cans with you?
Yeah, and we did that, and we also raised money from that. And I did videos every 2 days just to update people about how it's coming on. And I went around my neighbourhood just letting them know about what I was doing, and if they could help me out, that would be amazing. And then 6 weeks later, it all just happened.
And you even made the local radio stations here as well.
Yeah, I did 96 FM, and there were.
And Life FM and a couple of other ones. So in fairness, you were on Spirit FM as well. So you worked pretty hard. I thought you worked really hard. The honest truth is, folks, Dad didn't have great confidence in the fact that she would actually be able to raise the money for a well, but Leanna believed that she would work really, really hard. Her mom did help her, to be fair, but in the end, what happened?
In the end, I was able to get it, and thanks to Castlegarge Bray, they match funded my well, and then we ended up getting 2, and it was really nice.
And what did that feel like, getting 2?
Really happy.
Yeah? That was a good experience.
Very great.
And then this summer as a family, we actually had the opportunity to go to Uganda together and spend a little bit of time there, about 6 weeks in the office. Part of that trip, we got to go into the field and visit our drilling team, but we also got to go to a community, and the community where Leanna had funded the well for. What was that like?
That was really nice. It was great to see everybody there and see the actual well, what it looked like. We got to see the community, and they got to chat to us and let them know what else could help and how they were getting on and stuff. And I got to pump the well and everything, and it was really nice.
And then your father probably is famous for not being an overly emotional person. Probably, Leanna says, we've sort of seen you cry 5 times since we were born. But then the village chief who was there asked for the donor to get up and give a speech. And so they looked at me, but of course I wasn't the donor. So I pointed at Leanna, and the whole community was really stunned that Leanna was the donor. And then, in fairness to her, she stood up, gave a speech, and Dad may have had one of his random tears in the eye, wasn't it? It was a very emotional moment, but you did really well. We were really proud of you.
Yeah, and I didn't know I was going to do a speech. I got up and I was freaking out, panicking, but it turned out well. You just and it was great to see their ambition and everything of what they were planning. So it's good to see the use of things
and the impact of it.
Yeah, the impact.
So if there was anyone watching here tonight, would there be anything that you would say to them? How would you encourage somebody? You are 9 years of age?
Yeah.
So if you can do it, anyone can do it, right?
Yeah.
So what would you say to anyone tonight watching who's thinking about helping out with the gift of clean water?
I would say, if you feel like you should do something, don't just say, oh yeah, that would be nice, and then just let it go. I'd say keep going with it. Just keep going. Don't let it go like most of the things that people tend to do. That it's really important, and it could change loads of people's lives. And if the only thing that's holding you back is failure, which I knew, I was if this doesn't work, that'll be really embarrassing and everything. Just go for it. If it's what you're supposed to do, then the chances are you probably won't fail. And even if you didn't, then maybe you can even aim smaller and just give. It's just that simple. And just, if it's put on your heart to do it, you should do it.
Brilliant. Well, there's some words of wisdom from a 12-year-old girl called Leanna, who happens to be my daughter, a Fields of Life well donor. Thank you so much, folks. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you. Bye.
Wow, thank you so much, Leanna, for sharing that, which is really inspirational to all of us listening. Hi, I'm Roisin Scott. I am the new Financial Controller for Fields of Life, and I started in April of this year. And I had the real privilege of going out to East Africa in September, again of this year. I was mainly going out to meet all of our colleagues out there and to do some training for 3 or 4 days, but obviously considering that I was there, I was really keen to see where all of the money is actually going. So I had the opportunity to visit about 8 schools. I saw a well being drilled, and actually linking back to what Leanna shared, we went to one village and the principal of the school showed us a swamp where they had previously got the water for the children, for everybody in the village, and it was absolutely disgusting. It actually made me gag. And then right beside it, we saw the well that had been drilled by Fields of Life, and it was just transformational to see the difference. We then left there, we went on up further north, and we got to visit the Vocational Training Institute. And just really wonderful to walk around and to see the students. I also got to meet with James, the principal, and he and I were walking around together, and I was hearing a little bit about his story. He came across extremely pastoral and had a really strong, passionate heart for the students. And he basically said that when he looked at them, he saw himself, because he also was a child who grew up without very much and really craved to have an education. So it was really moving to get to know him and to walk around with him. But we got a tour around each of the different departments. And one of the areas that we were in was the sort of hair, makeup, beauty department. And watching 3 students work on a young girl's hair and trying to plait a weave on was just fascinating to see. And you could have had your makeup done, or you could have gone for a massage. And the students are all developing their skills, not only to learn themselves, but so they can also then provide reduced rates to the local community. They can come in and get their hair done or get a massage. But I got talking to one of the ladies who was just so enthusiastic because she had created and designed her own hair product. And she couldn't wait to show us the bottle, which was very impressive, and she told us about all that went into it. So she has created this product that she has been able to use on students, but also to sell in the wider community. And it just made me think about the Young Enterprise scheme that we have here to give students a real chance to shine, use their creativity to make a difference. And this lady was getting her chance to shine just a little bit later in life. So it was just really encouraging to have all of those experiences that were coming through the Vocational Training Institute. So for all of you who have supported, thank you so, so much. And if you want to hear more about how you can get involved, please do visit our website to find out more. Thank you.
Now, I know another program of ours that many of you are extremely passionate about is our I Am Girl program. A program designed to help girls stay in school, in teaching them the importance of making reusable sanitary pads, and even helping boys understand the importance of respecting girls. This is such a key program of ours. It embeds through everything that we do. And I know that many of you are such passionate supporters, such advocates of this program, that you have been out and about helping us raise money through activities. Our menstrual cycle that we ran across the last few months, I know many of you have signed up and have been cycling day and night to raise support for this important program to end period poverty in East Africa. Thank you for doing that. Thank you to those who give up their evenings to cycle. Thank you for those who did a 10K step challenge every morning, like our friends from Stranmillis. And for those who are offering to climb Kilimanjaro, like Taylor Cook in the United States, or like our very own Joy, who ran marathons on our behalf. Thank you to all of you. There's too many to mention. But maybe if you would like to do an activity or a challenge for Fields of Life, maybe you can get in touch and let us know what you're thinking of doing. Here is a video of a couple of people who have done these incredible challenges to raise money for these important programs.
My name's Claire and I decided to take part in the menstrual cycle for Fields of Life to do my part in trying to raise some money to help the situation for girls in East Africa. I was one of those girls myself who struggled with heavy periods during my time at school, but for me I could come home and get changed or just sneaky into my PE kit or even turn my skirt around and walk with my folder in front of me until the end of school, and that was with having nice facilities and products available at my disposal. So I can't even imagine what it's like for patients and other girls in East Africa who have to miss school just for having their period due to not having the facilities or just because of the shame that's attached with it. So I decided to cycle 280 miles in the month of September because girls like Patience miss 280 hours of school every year just because of having their period. No girls should have to miss out on part of their education because of this. So it was tight enough, the legs were burning, but I'm just about to do my last 10 miles here, and anytime I was getting it tight I just thought of Patience. I thought of all the girls that I've met personally during my times in Uganda. I thought of them and I just dug even deeper, because every girl deserves to stay in school and should have the right to education like everyone else.
Hello, my name is Sam Mawhinney and I've just completed the menstrual cycle for Fields of Life and for their I Am Girl project. In September it was good to do 280 miles, 467 kilometres in the South Dublin area. And I know that that money that has been raised will support many girls in East Africa who struggle with menstrual poverty. And I'm grateful to Fields of Life for their project, I Am Girl, and how they educate and help those girls. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much to everybody who took part in the menstrual cycle to end period poverty in East Africa. Thank you to anybody who has taken part in any challenge on our behalf. We appreciate you so, so much. Now that really brings tonight to a close, and I just hope tonight that you really have been inspired. And maybe you've been watching tonight and you're thinking, how can I respond to this? And I hope that you are inspired, that no matter what you can do, really, really will make a difference. There's a number of things that you can do tonight. You can give. £18 provides a family with food, not just today, but ongoing for the future. £52 provides clean water to a family, and the difference of that is just transformational. £107 provides a school with I Am Girl materials, helping girls to make reusable sanitary pads. But no matter what you can give, it really does make a difference. And whatever you can do for the least of these will really make an impact. Now, that is us really closed. If you would like to pray for us, please do. If you would like to come along to one of our events, we would love to have you. We've got a gala ball in Belfast on the 10th of March, so we'll be in touch about that. We have different events that are coming out throughout the year, but maybe you would like to hold an event for us at your local church, and if you'd like to, we have materials to give you. You can tell your friends about us. Please do share this link with your friends. And also, if you would like to come back out to East Africa with us, we would absolutely love to have you. Over the last few years, we haven't been able to travel, and we've really missed it. But this year alone, we have 8 trips who are going to be going out this year. Maybe you can add to that. Maybe your church can come out. We have different types of trips where we have trips with church teams that go out for a longer period of time with a school community. But we also have shorter trips that are 4 or 5 days long, where you can go in, see the difference that you're making, and then as a group come back and think about what you're going to do about what you've seen. So if that sounds like something you might be interested in, please do get in touch with us. But thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thank you so much for giving. Thank you so much for loving these children in East Africa. And until next time, God bless and goodbye.